Back again. It's Smoove. You already know what this is. Today we are going to be talking about women who are dumping the dating apps. Yes, women leaving the dating apps. Go figure. First video, let's get it.
I am officially burnt out from using dating apps. So I just deleted my Hinge, my Bumble, my Coffee Meets Bagels. Yes, I used all three. Yes, it is embarrassing to admit that. I was trying to maximize my chances, but I think it just burnt me out even more. Whenever I go on the apps, I just feel stressed and I'm just not motivated at all. I wasn't excited to talk to people. I wasn't excited to go on dates. So I figured I would just remove myself from the apps and see if I can find someone in person. So yeah, if you want me, you can find me out in the wild.
Find you out in the wild. Funny you should say that. One thing that we have to understand is that nearly every single one of these apps are operated by shareholders, right? So their objective is to continue to make money. And even though some of these apps market themselves as the apps to be deleted, we know who you are. That's not the case, because if they were to explain to their shareholders that, yes, we are marketing this as the app to be deleted, but it doesn't mean that, of course, that's what they really will tell the shareholders. But if they told them that, sure, this is designed for a one-time use, we want these people to find each other, find love, and live happily ever after, that would be a complete joke. Why? Because you are literally eliminating your user base. What business model actually is designed to delete its customer? No one. That's why they fail. That's why they gamify it. That's why they give you these endless options so you can continue to get this thing going. What you must understand is that these people have taken these apps, the developers that they were able to get, where do you think they got them from? People who design casino games. Think about that just for a second. People who are designing games that are designed to be extremely addictive are the same people who are designing dating apps. So we have to understand that when we look at these dating apps. Next video.
I really do think I'm starting to give up on dating in LA. Truly. I have been off the dating apps for nearly a year, and I just re-downloaded Hinge a week and a half ago. Don't even get me started on Raya. I used to be on Raya years ago for years, and it's such an egotistical app. Everyone gets on there. No one talks. You're not meeting anyone. They're just making a shit ton of money because they make it feel like it's an exclusive thing, right? But now I'm to the point where I am so single and I am so independent that I am on Hinge and you get like 1 million likes, 1 million notifications, and the guys are like decent looking, some of them. But I got to a point this morning where I was just so overwhelmed. I went on there and I just said no to everyone.
Diabolical. And this is what happens with the illusion of choice. She had so many results. What people don't understand about Hinge is that the women are the commodities. They pretty much pimping y'all. It is what it is. And when you see that many options, then you're just like, no. You find superficial things to eliminate people. And it is what it is. People are going to eliminate the wrong ones because they don't take the time to get to know them. And they don't have the time to know them because they have too many choices to sift through. Right? So, yeah, we're screwed with that.
Because I was like, I get one hint of you being a weirdo and it's a no for me. Like, I don't have the patience to test out the theory that you can be normal. You know what I'm saying?
She doesn't have the patience, right? And what do you think? The guys are supposed to be patient with you? This is what I'm talking about.
Like, I don't have time in my schedule to devote to going on a date, getting dressed, getting ready, emotionally and energetically being hopeful that you're a cool person. And then I get to the date and 5 seconds in, before I probably even sit down and put my purse down, I realize that this was a big mistake and that you are weird.
Combo breaker!
Yeah, guess what? This is poor vetting. You don't know how to vet a man. There's no way that you should have been on a date with a guy for 5 seconds and realize he's weird. You should have had a conversation prior to this. You should have had several prior conversations. I don't think that anyone should go on any date just all willy-nilly unless you don't really care about the results. If you care about the results and you're dating with intention, then you probably should take some time, talk to this person, get to know them. You're going to lose if you don't. There's no way within 5 seconds you would have found out that this guy is weird. If you would have spoken to him, see what he's like, see what his family's like, see what his interactions are with other people, you probably should have just got to know him a little more. But because you don't have these patience, you're going to continue to lose. Keep going.
I'm not saying every guy is weird, but a lot of these guys are weird. And like they say weird things, or they're not like a gentleman, and they expect you to like do things for them. And it's just like, when you're old school, at least for me at the beginning of dating, I want a guy to make the plans. I want a guy to follow up with you. I want a guy to like take the reins at the beginning of dating so that I can know that if shit hits the fan in our relationship, I can trust you to make me feel safe and make...
All valid. All valid. I'm an old school guy too, I guess, but based on modern dating standards. So I don't really have any gripes as far as anything that she asked for. She wants a guy to plan it. Yeah, I usually will plan it, and that's fine. I'm okay. I'm a man, and I will do that, right? But are you going to be appreciative of it, right? Are you going to want to do something for me? Here's what I normally try out. Within the first date or two, I usually will see if a woman will feed me. If she won't, you're not a nurturer. Cut. So yeah, dudes might ask you to do something too. Right. But I think if you're going to do that, you probably should be a gentleman. I don't have any issues with that. But if you're going to present yourself as an equal, then that's where men are going to have a problem with it. Because if I'm the one who's pulling all the weight, then yeah, there's probably some type of a hierarchy here. Just as if a woman was pulling all the weight, she would understand that there's some type of hierarchy there. That it is what it is. The man has more skin in the game in most of these cases. He's the one who she prepares and gets ready like she would on her normal day of going out. The man has to do a lot. He has to sometimes pick her up. Some of these women are meeting you here. I get it. There's other things he has to do, though. He's expected to pay. He's expected to entertain. He has to be the one that's funny. He has to lead the conversation. Women generally aren't funny. Women generally don't lead conversations or do anything. They don't pursue. They don't entertain. They don't really date. They just participate. Shout to my homeboy for coming up with that phrase.
Me feel taken care of, because I can do it. I don't want to do it though. I don't want to do it. I want to know that I am with a partner that is capable. And that's what women want. We don't want at the beginning you to pay for all of these things and open our door and do all of these things because it's a show. We want all of these things because it's a test to see if you can actually take care of us and take care of a family. And, oh, if I'm pregnant and I can't be working, can you afford to...
She's just being redundant at this point. But I understand her sentiment. But here's the main issue that I have with all of this. Women want these types of things out of men, but the men that they desire, who they pick through these superficial filters, cutting off any man under 6 feet, looking for income indicators, and, you know, they want you to look a certain way, right? You have to be probably an 8 or better. Those guys have way too many options to deal with women in the same way that somebody who's mid will. Let's keep it G. If he knows he has an unlimited amount of women that he can go through, then he's probably not going to want to invest in women. So that's the main thing. So if you want those type of men, which you have access to, obviously, through the dating app, because it's so bad, and men typically don't reject anything. We don't take anything off of the table. So a lot of times men will date those with bad intentions, and we know that they're bad intentions. However, she has to learn to understand that these guys aren't going to take you seriously. That doesn't mean that if you get these guys who are mid-tier will treat you like that, because usually they don't. Most men honestly want to love a woman, right? They honestly will treat a woman well. But these guys that are getting all these hits, yeah, they're not going to do that. It is what it is. Pick your poison. Next video.
So I got off the dating apps a couple months ago because, you know, they just kind of suck. But last month, truly solidified my decision to never return to those apps, and it's not for the reason that you think. So basically, my best friend found out from some guy that there was somebody on the dating apps that were using her pictures. Like, they were basically catfishing, pretending to be her. So she asked me, will you make a fake profile, like, as a guy, and then, like, swipe through and see if you come across my profile? So I'm like, yeah, girl, I got you. So I make a fake profile. Now I'm pretending to be some man, and I'm swiping through all the women to find my friend. Y'all, when I tell you, I was swiping 10 after 10 after 10 after 10, like, gorgeous woman after gorgeous woman after gorgeous woman, all of them with very well thought out profiles, all of them with hobbies and interests, who want long-term committed relationships, all of them who are like clearly putting a lot of effort into this. And like, I couldn't run out of options. It seemed like no matter how many times I swiped, there was always another 10 waiting for me. And it just
No,
That was a lie.
this woman, her idea of doom swiping has to be very different. What I do understand is that in the beginning, the apps will typically shoot their load, right? Meaning they will send you all of the most desirable profiles, and they can kind of tell, they know about face symmetry, they know about others people interactions with them. So they'll go ahead and give you the best of the best, and you can keep swiping for a while, but after a while it gets pretty old, and you'll realize that no, once you start getting into the thousands, which most men end up doing nowadays because you have to, because you won't get enough hits back, yeah, you'll start seeing what the bottom of the barrel looks like, where profiles are not thought up and they have a single picture of a cat or some landscape or some nonsense, right? You'll start to understand really quickly that, nah, it's not decked out like you think it is, but you just didn't swipe enough. And those women, out of all of them, I bet you if you swiped on them, they wouldn't have hit you back. Keep it going.
this made me think, like, if this is what it's like for them, I'm seeing why partially they don't take women that they meet on dating apps that seriously. Because like, if I match with this girl and she's not immediately what I want her to be, she's not vibing with what I'm vibing with, I ask her if I can come over at 10 o'clock at night and she don't want to do it, I'm just gonna get back on the apps and find somebody that will. Like, just swipe one more time and you'll find somebody who probably looks even better than her, who's probably even more of a match for me. Like, it just really gives the illusion of like endless options, and men already have more eligible dating options than women do. Like, the
lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Who is this woman? Now, we won't fraud. I've talked about these men before, right? The men at the very top, right? You're talking about the top 10% of men. In the top 5, there's even more of a disparity of how many women they actually can obtain. And it's pretty simple. Those men, they get it. They get whatever they want. It is what it is. Those men at the bottom, they're not getting it. Those men in the middle, they're not getting it. If you're not at least in the top 20%, you will struggle to date. And I'm talking about the average being 145 swipes just for one match. And if you have 10 matches, only one of those women will actually engage with you for a bit. So just think about that. By the time you actually got to a point where you can get a real date, you have swiped thousands of times, 1,400 times, just for you to be able to get a whiff at a date. If you're the average guy, it is what it is.
already have more of an upper hand when it comes to the playing field. They're already winning. Then you get on the apps and you have all of these options at your fingertips. No, absolutely not. I said no. I will not be returning to these apps now that I'm seeing it from their side. No, thank you. Like, I can't stress to you how many eligible bachelorettes were on this app. I got on Tinder and I got on Hinge, and it was the same with both. It's always beautiful.
Just in case you didn't know, it is the same. They are both owned by Match, and there are the same players on the app.
Beautiful, stunning, gorgeous woman. And then also seeing them on the app made me really feel like, why are you on here? Like, as fine as you are and as much of a catch as you seem to be, why are you on this app? And now I understand when men, because I've seen men come on TikTok and be like, when men meet you on the dating app, they automatically think that you're desperate. And now, and first, like, it sounds offensive, and it kind of is. But now that I'm scrolling from their perspective, I'm like, why are you on this app? Like, you
Pack her up. Lady, I'll tell you why they're still on the app. They are still on the app because the men that they desire will date them. The men that they desire will smash them. The men that they desire will never marry them. The men that they desire will not give them an LTR ever in life because they don't offer enough. They think because of the amount of access that they get based on their superficial value, it's going to translate into real value, but it never, ever does. You have to offer more than that. When you start saying that the men are going to have to do every single thing and you offer nothing, you're not going to get it. Now, there's an absolute difference between obtaining someone and retaining someone. The looks will get you in the door if you're a woman. The money, the status, those type of things will get you in the door if you're a man. Retaining are the things that are intangibles. The tangibles get you in the door. The intangibles will help you to maintain a situation. You're going to have to be attentive. You're going to have to be considerate. You're going to have to be caring. All of those types of things. If you don't care and you feel like you have all these options and you're nonchalant about the situation, then you're going to end up being in the same boat that you've been in the entire time. Now, we can gripe all day about what's going on in the dating apps, but in reality, it's the same thing that's going on in real life. People don't care enough to be considerate, nurturing, loving, or anything like that. Men and women alike just don't care enough to put forth effort. They think that themselves and you having proximity to them is enough to offer, and it never was and never will be. It'll get you in the door, but it won't have you retain anything. If you want to be successful, you can do it in the real world. You can do it on dating apps, but your plan has to be the same. You're going to have to put forth some type of effort towards the other person if you expect it to be sustainable. We appreciate you for coming through today. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you decided to come through and rock with your homeboy Smoove. We appreciate and love you for it. And until next time, stay hungry, my friends. Never thirsty.